This is the wildest price target that Tom Lee might ever have told us, and it's just said in one brand new podcast that he did. We are watching all the contents and we are summarizing it here for you so you don't have to watch, hours and hours of content. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the game, I'm the wolf of Dubai.
Yes, so Tom Lee is one of the most important guys for BitMine. Beside my daily updates on BitMine, if you don't know who I am, my name is Danny. And you might watch for the very first time because you didn't smash the subscribe button. And I actually look for stocks that can go very high. They can go 400, 500, 600,000% up. I did this with Tesla for my subscribers so they could buy houses and apartments. And I'm doing this now for BitMine as well. And my goal is to educate, to entertain, and to make you all wealthy for free here on this channel. But if you want to speed that process up a little bit, I have also my own product because I never advertise anything else on my channels. Even when I get like $50,000 checks offers and they say like, hey, advertise our crypto broker, we give you $50,000. No, that's just not my style. Okay. I invest personally $1 million into our software so you can get all our trades into your portfolio in Interactive Brokers, and it's all done for you. We have a whole team that is looking into the market and buying the trades. And if this is interesting for you, then make sure to schedule a call with me, and we want to achieve between 8 to 15%. This week we did 2 out of 2 trades, 100% win rate, doesn't get better than that, all done for you. We want to turn your $10,000 portfolio into like 58 by increasing it only 8 to 15% per month. Okay, so we do this by highly selecting the trades and sending it your way, and your portfolio buys it on your behalf, right? So very simple to understand. If this is interesting, the last seats for December is always mentioned on the website, how many seats are available. Check it out. And let's dive into the first video of Tom Lee.
What's like your wildest price call on Ethereum? Because you've made some calls, but these are boring. $7,000, $10,000. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, what's the actual craziest call? It can be super long term. I'm not like.
Yeah. I just give people some framework to think about.
Yes.
Like really simple.
Yeah.
They should just have 2 ways to price Ethereum in their head. Okay. One is, what is its price ratio to Bitcoin? That should make sense because they're like, if you think Ethereum's story is getting better than Bitcoin, like there's more excitement or things happening, then its price ratio relative to Bitcoin should go up. It's sort of like, it would be like a relative price comparison. And that price ratio in the past was like 0.08. That's the average price of Ethereum to Bitcoin. Well, if someone thinks Bitcoin gets to 200,000, which I think it will, then Ethereum, just to get to its long-term average, is like 16,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's like 3,000 right now. Now, if Ethereum gets to the same value as Bitcoin, the network value, that's like 250,000. Which, could Ethereum be more valuable than Bitcoin in the future? Keep in mind, OpenAI is probably, if it was a publicly traded company, would be worth $1 trillion. And it's one of 4 or 5 LLMs. OpenAI just by itself is worth 3 times Ethereum right now. Is Ethereum more valuable in relative to AI? Right. OpenAI is just one of like 8 models. And if Ethereum is the dominant L1, shouldn't that be worth
more than
a couple trillion?
Couple trillion, yeah. No.
So that's why when I say 3,000 ETH, you're getting so much future optionality.
Yeah, because 3,000 ETH means about $400 billion in terms of trillions, right? The whole industry is just worth like $4 trillion, which is ridiculous. I think CZ sees it at over $10 trillion in the next year, et cetera, which makes sense. It's a joke, really. It's crazy, though. I find it kind of a bummer that you talk about the S&Ps having kind of a wobble, and therefore crypto's having a wobble, but overall stocks have just been up and crypto's kind of been sideways, which has kind of, I think, gotten a few people worried.
I did talk about this yesterday that if we were having this conversation on October 9th,
Yeah.
actually crypto is doing great.
Yeah.
Bitcoin was up almost 40%.
Yeah.
Ethereum was up more than that.
Yeah. We
Year-to-date.
were living a great life.
Yeah.
October 9th.
Yeah. So now October 9th is only like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know.
So in 8 weeks, everyone's like suddenly like thinks they're dead.
No more debasement trade for crypto, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So what happened, of course, we know is that something happened on October 10th that we're only just recovering from. Because otherwise, October 9th, if we had closed the book there, it would have been a banner year.
So as you can see, this might be the biggest price target yet so far from Tom Lee, okay? He said trillions could be expected in market capitalization for Ethereum. I mean, this is quite insane if you think about it. That means that, first of all, that just to speak like rough numbers here, okay? That means that 3,000 to 4,000 in Ethereum is a joke because he thinks it will go to $400,000, right? Per one Ethereum. I mean, and then he's saying it kind of, logically, he's saying, what is then 3,000? We liking to buy it 3,000 right now. If it will be at like one day a $400,000 asset, right? If Bitcoin will be at 1.5 million or 2 million and Ethereum will be at 300, 400,000, I mean, that will be absolutely mind blowing. I mean, Bitmine could be one of the most profitable companies in the whole world, right? And if you're believing in this vision and the only thing you need to do is buy Bitmine, then maybe, you should think about it, okay? And this is obviously never financial advice, but think about it. If the asset that they are holding and that they could stake on and make 3% every year, then think about it. They can go higher and higher and higher. And just as of today, they can make $1 million per day for staking their Ethereum. And it will take like 70 days to fully stake, but then they will make $365 million, okay, that they make as income for their shareholders, right? So if this is interesting, guys, think about it, okay? Is it now a good time to buy or rather wait 5 years, right? So, and will you handle the short-term volatility, or are you selling and buying now and scared and or you can just wait 3 years and see what they have done in 5 months, what they can do in 5 years, right? So that's the mindset, and I can promise you, if you have this kind of mindset and you find beautiful companies, then you will never have to work at all anymore in your life, okay? So I think that's a possibility, okay? Now, let's dive into the second one. The second club, let's just dive in. Let's have a look.
By the way, do you know that most cryptos make their low at the end of the year? Like if you look at the bear markets of 2018 and 2022, they made their lows in November.
You calling a bottom, Tom?
Okay, this is my opinion, but we are putting our money where our mouth is. Bitmine believes Ethereum's already bottom. We've been buying it. We showed it yesterday. This compared to 2 weeks ago, the amount of ETH we're buying is more than double.
Okay, so let's talk about this then. Bitmine believes Ethereum's put in the bottom. Let's talk about Bitmine quickly. Like I said, I didn't really want to make this about like the DATs and everything because you talk about this all the time. But a lot of people are worried about DATs in crypto, right? I think a lot of the price this year, and I believe a lot of people probably agree with, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, a lot of the price action, whether it's Bitcoin and Ethereum, was propelled by DATs. And then they became a thing. Everybody wants to be Tom Lee, right? Everybody wants to be Michael Saylor. He's kind of he kind of started this whole thing. So what's your thoughts now looking back at the year and looking into the new year about these digital asset treasuries?
This year, I think there's now, from the start of the year to now, there's 80 DATs. So there's probably too many DATs out there. And it's an object lesson for both crypto builders and for stock investors. For the crypto builders, they thought building a DAT was simply, let's put together a team, put some famous names on it, and we're going to be 100x on the stock. But that was kind of a little naive.
Yeah.
For the equity investor, they're learning a lesson, which is, just because there's this crypto in it, you can't necessarily outperform the crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's happened this year is that both sides kind of sobered up. And of the 80 DATs, I think like 90% trade below NAV.
A lot of them, yeah.
Yep. And in terms of trading volume, because trading volume is the lifeblood of a stock, of a DAT, because you need to have trading volume to actually raise money. The market is only giving trading volume to 2 DATs right now. But it shows you how extremely relevant those 2 companies are. MicroStrategy is the 17th most traded stock in the world today.
Wow.
Or at least in the US. It's probably the world.
Yeah.
So think about that. Like MicroStrategy, when you look at trading volume, for every desk in the world, it's the 17th most relevant stock. Huge deal.
Wow.
Bitmine is the 39th most traded stock.
You
in
guys
the world.
crushed it.
Yeah. But think about that. Like it's one of the most important stocks that's traded in the world today.
Yeah, it's impressive.
But everything else, like between Bitmine and MicroStrategy, that's 92% of all trading volume. So the other 80 DATs are only 8%. So
there's got to be some consolidation at some point.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Right? Like some of these DATs are selling their ETH now because they have to buy back their shares. And I think that's caused some...
I think they're all trying different things.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to work. I think if a DAT's below NAV, they are having an existential issue.
Yeah.
Bitmine and
I saw DAT trading like 40% below NAV recently.
And they have to keep in mind that in the stock market world, there are stocks that trade below cash.
Got it.
They're called no-nos or net nets.
Okay.
Net nets, meaning like the net cash. Like a lot of biotechs have this. They trade below the cash holdings, a biotech company. Okay. Imagine if someone told you you should buy, the only biotechs you should buy are the ones that trade below cash. You'd never make any money.
Yeah.
The only biotechs you should buy are the ones where people are excited about what they're doing. So I think that if a crypto company is trading below NAV and somebody's saying like it's a value buy, that's not the approach to make money in any other sector.
Got it.
You never buy the cheapest stock in a sector. You buy the strongest stock in a sector. And that's like, imagine if someone said, I don't want to buy NVIDIA. I'll just buy this like 100th best chip maker.
Yeah,
because
buy the strongest. So it kind of, everything goes always to the top, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to buy the 57th Ethereum DAT. Probably not the second or third either.
Yeah. So I don't know what happens to other DATs, but people should probably be buying the strongest DATs.
What have you learned from Strategy's recent plunge? Like it's been tough for Taylor, right? Like the stock has hit some lows. He made some announcements recently. Obviously, like usual, he catches a lot of FUD. I love Michael Saylor. I think he's awesome. Met him as well, and he's super cool. But what do you learn from that at Bitmine?
Oh, well, there's nothing he can do because he's always going to be high beta to Bitcoin. And in the last downturn of Bitcoin, Strategy traded below NAV.
Yeah.
So
the first time.
Yeah. So it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's really, how is the company prepared for that downturn? I think they're doing the smart thing. They have now announced a cash reserve of 1.4 billion. Smart. By the way, we've been running cash the entire time.
Yeah.
Because we're just like, we don't want anyone to ever think we're not going to be around. I mean, we're going to have 400 million in staking revenue and $1 billion in cash. Like, there's nothing to really happen to Bitmine.
Yeah.
The second thing is that MicroStrategy is just tied to Bitcoin's price. That's the bottom line, right? He's not tied to NVIDIA earnings or, the business cycle. He's just tied to Bitcoin's price. And as you know, this year, people thought a lot of the OGs say we're in a 4-year cycle and Bitcoin's tough.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
they've been selling Bitcoin like crazy.
Yeah. We've, part of it, I understand, 100,000 Bitcoin, diversify. But the part I think that's going to be different this year is that if Bitcoin makes a new high in January, there's no 4-year cycle.
Okay, so you don't believe in the 4-year cycle?
No. I think we're...
So how come it's such a thing in crypto?
Because it was true in the past that there was a 4-year cycle.
Until this cycle.
Yeah. I can also point out that if you look in the traditional equity world, do you know that there was a 4-year cycle for ISM? ISM is the manufacturing index that had a 4-year cycle.
Interesting.
The 4-year cycle broke. It's no longer a 4-year cycle right now. And copper and gold prices used to have a 4-year cycle, and it's no longer a 4-year cycle. So if like things that were reliably 4-year cycles are no longer 4-year cycles, why should Bitcoin be in a 4-year cycle? Is my So, but we'll know. So by January 31, if Bitcoin closes at above 126,
By January 31st?
yeah, then there's no 4-year cycle.
So he is out there and says, hey, we put our money where the mouth is, okay? Same like when I go out and buy, you know, 10, 12, $13,000 of Bitcoin, I purchased more today here as well, as you can see. I think that it's very interesting that you see this kind of developments and you think, well, you know, I think he has something that he wants to tell us investors, right? If he increases the amount of Ethereum that he buys per week by 156%, that means that he is very, very convinced that Ethereum will go higher, right? And if you are thinking that way as well, then maybe it's interesting to purchase more Bitcoin. If you are letting Tom Lee and his team handle all the Ethereum, then it's better to own Bitcoin now when it's still struggling with 40 and 35 than struggling with 350 and 400, right? So I think what I want to say is always the thing that I have here on my t-shirt is I think we are all still very, very early, guys, okay? I think that we are extremely early in a process and an investment that has so much room to grow. And we have all the volatility tells us this, right? If you're looking to, for example, like an Apple is not that volatile like Bitcoin. Why? Because it's matured and it doesn't have so much growth anymore, right? Not interesting for me. For people, they say like, God, I would never hold Bitcoin. I would rather hold something like Apple and be happy with 2, 3, 4% every quarter or something. But for us, we look for 4, 5% per day sometimes in moves, right? Regularly. So I think that we are very, very early. I think that Tom Lee is a fantastic leader and this is a brilliant raw diamond that we have there. Okay. So if you like that, if you like my videos, make sure to subscribe and like. And don't forget, tomorrow is a new video. Check out xtendaytrading.com if you want us to trade for you. And I see you on the other side because the grass is greener always on the other side.